Hello and welcome, Checkmate here, and this is episode 13 of our Let's Play Kerbal Space Program series. And this episode, we're going to get started on some relay networks around the moon. And I want to start by saying we're going to probably use two different methods. One method for the moon that already has two satellites orbiting it. And then we're going to use a different method, most likely for Minmus, because I don't think we have any orbiting Minmus at the moment. But I want to give credit to Mike Aben. He is a YouTube content creator, and he plays a lot of KSP, and he has some very well done tutorials, very thorough. I think he's actually a professor or instructor by trade. That's his career. I think he's recently retired, but he's just great at teaching all the different mechanics of this game. And so the relay network, he has a series on, or two different videos on relay networks. I'm going to leave a mention to his channel in the description down below. I'd encourage you to go over there and check it out. But I want to make sure that I credit him with the procedure that I'm going to be doing, because I did not come up with this at all. It's completely his. I'm going to just try to recreate what he did on his videos. So, looks like we actually have three here now. Let's just take a look at all three of these, because we're going to need some fuel to maneuver these around with. This one here has 19 Delta V left, so this is probably a no-go here. So, can I not go back to the tracking view? I wonder if I can. It's too far out to change between them. And that's going to be kind of a pain to go back to this page, then back to the tracking station. The other two, I think both of these were contract satellites. I had a contract to put a satellite in a specific orbit, and I wanted to leave some extra fuel in them when I made these for this very reason. Okay, so we got 1600 in this one, so that's plenty for this one, and it's equipped with two of these RG5 high gain antennas. These are relay antennas. So the little Communitron antenna is not a relay. In fact, even this one is not. I don't think this is a relay either. So this can send and receive, but the relay antennas can bridge a gap. So one antenna could transmit to this one, and then this will pass it along to the next one in its network. So we've got to have these relay antennas for our relay network. So we have this one here that has 1639, and I want to look at the other one. If they both have enough fuel, then we'll use those two, and we'll just have to launch a third. So that, not sure which one that was. This is relay contract probe 3 and contract probe 4. So let's look at 3. I think we looked at 4 first. Let's look at 3. Let's see how much fuel is on 3. Well, that's 1639, so maybe 4. Let's look at 4. Surely they're not the same. They might be. It would be great if they both had that much fuel in them. So that was 3. Let's look at 4. $16.70. Okay, that's good. So they both have plenty of fuel to reposition them, and we have power generation, and we have both of the antennas that we need. Yeah, electric charge 410. Okay, so that's good. And actually, I wonder if from this view, yeah, I can't switch between the two, so that's going to be our only issue. Oh, I can switch back like this. Now this is one that's on the surface. Alright, so I wonder if I can... Wish I could just select one to not view. I don't know if there's a way to hide from view. I could probably just forget about this one because it doesn't have enough fuel to do anything with. Oh well, it's fine. So what do we want to do here? So the idea is we need 3 satellites orbiting the moon here. And they need to be on the same period, so they need to have the same amount of time rotating the planet equally. And I need to fix these orbits where they're all pretty much stacked. And then the separation between them need to be 120 degrees. So you want these to be 120 degrees out of phase with each other, basically. So we look at that. If we go to back to our satellite, actually if I set this as a target, I should be able to see now the phase angle. Our phase angle with our target right now is 63.8 degrees. So we want to get this to 120. And we want our orbital period currently our orbital period is 2 hours 10 minutes. Okay, we want to get that. So it's easier to work with an even number. So if we get it to 2 hours exactly, it's easier to calculate. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to get these orbits pretty much in line with each other, and then I'm going to bring one orbit inside, kind of running on an inside track, and it will be going faster than the other one. So we will gain ground. We'll gain up. We'll either gain ground, or if we need to spread out, if we need to increase our distance, then I'll make a larger orbit and we'll slow down, and it will pull ahead of us. And then when it gets to 120 degrees, we'll get back into our 2-day period. So in that way, we'll speed up and slow down relative to our target and let it pull ahead or catch up, whichever we need it to do, until it is 120 degree phase angle. So let's look at, now I think how we want to do this. I guess to start with, we probably need to get a 2-day period on our first one here. So let's see if we can work on that. Now I currently have, let me just unset my target here. And I'm going to clean up this view for now. Now I need to get this. Another thing is our inclination. We need to make sure we're on a 0. I'm currently at 2. So right about here I could probably adjust that inclination. See if I set a maneuver here. Wrong way. It's like 2 is close I'm going to get it, huh? Well, let's do that. Let's go ahead and get that close, and then we can correct it at another point. orbit. I guess I should work on getting my orbit circularized first. So let's do that. I'll go here. I think 377 is what Mike goes for on his orbit, on his Apo and Perry. It's not going to be a 2-day period though. So I've never done this before, so I'm kind of learning on the fly here. Let's see if I take it out to 377, what's that gonna do? That's too much. Let's try that, and then when I get to here, I'll stretch my other side out. And let's just see what kind of orbital period that gives us. Because it doesn't have to be 2 days, it can be, as long as they're out of phase, as long as they're 120 degrees out of phase, that's what we're looking for. So now that's going to be a very fast maneuver. So let's see if we can, we're going to have to do some precision work here. So I'm going to turn this way down. And I will cut some of this out and try to shorten the video, because it's going to be a lot of me just trying to figure out how to do some of this stuff. I think we'll do Minmus in the next episode, because I'm going to try a different method with that one, because we don't have any probes out there now, so we'll have to send probes. And so there's a way that we can send 3 at one time and basically get into a very specific orbit, and then we can drop them off where we want them. Alright, so I'm going to push this out to 377.0, as close to 377.0 as I can get it. I'll take that. Now we will set another maneuver at our apoapsis. As close as we can get it to the apoapsis there. So we don't, because when I do this, it may change my apoapsis a little bit. So I want that to be as close as I can get it. That's close enough. This is difficult. Because I pushed my apoapsis out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just, without using maneuver node, I'm going to try to just burn retrograde here. When I get to my, I'll get about 5 seconds in, out from my periapsis, and burn retrograde and see if I can just manually pull this in to where I want it. Alright. That's pretty close right there. Okay, that's about as close to a circular orbit as I'm going to be able to get this. Now if I look, my period is 2.59. It's 2 hours, 59 minutes, 51 seconds. Let's see if we can get that up to 3 hours exactly. So if I was to go prograde, three hours. Okay, I think that works for the first satellite. And we are, this is, let's see which one this is. If I can rename this. Rename vessel. Okay, we're going to call this Moon Relay 1. And this is a relay. Accept. Okay. Now, if I go back out to find this one here, we'll switch to that one. Let's go ahead and rename this one. This is Moon Relay 2. And now we need to get this one to the similar orbit. But we want to be 120 degrees out of phase with this one here. So let us go ahead. We're at the apoapsis coming up, so let's go ahead. What I'm going to do, I'm going to push this out to about 350, I think. And then see if we can, so we'll be going faster. We'll get up about 120 degrees phase angle and then push it on out to the 377. So we'll try to catch up past this one and end up, you know, somewhere around here and get 120 degrees out of phase with that one. Close enough. Alright. Now that we've done that, if we set this as a target, we can look at our phase angle is -48. And we're going to be speeding up. So let's do a little time warp here. we should see that phase angle going up. Alright, I went a little too fast there. I passed it, I shouldn't have done that. So I think what I'm going to do, see if I can do a little bit of retrograde. Actually, let's not do that. Let's burn prograde here. Let's just go ahead and push this out to 377. And then let me warp to here. My phase angle is out of whack, but I'm going to try to fix that. I'm doing it again. I gotta burn prograde. It matters which way your engine's pointed. Alright, I have to go back now to my apoapsis and fix that periapsis. I really need to be just looking at this orbital period instead of trying to get these orbits pretty close to each other. One thing is my inclination is not the same. If we go on this descending node here, let's get our inclination right first. Alright, that's better. Now I wonder... It is just such a small, minute 0.1 second. I don't think I can turn my thrusters down anymore. Oh yeah, I can. That's still a very small maneuver. But let's see if we can get it. Let's see how close we can get it here. So that's 1 second at full thrust, so if I go at just the first notch here, I can maybe pull that in. Now one issue I see, get that lined up close as I can. Right there. So that maybe it won't affect my opposite side so much. I'm just trying to get the apoapsis number down to 377. And then we'll have to look at the period. Really, that's what we need to be looking at, is the period on this burn. We want to get it to 3 hours exactly. Well, our orbit is not circular, but our period is 3 hours. On Moon Relay 2, if I switch to this one, our period is 3 hours. But our phase angle is not right, because our phase, I switched instead of. Set as target, and I look at my phase angle. It's 126, so we need to slow down a little bit and let it catch up to us. So I think what I'll do is at my periapsis, I'll burn out. I'll prograde a little bit at my periapsis. So I'm going to go just a little bit prograde, and if I do that, I'll make my orbit bigger, and the other one should be able to catch up to us. And then once that phase angle is back, I should be able to go back into my 2-day period, or my 3-day period. I don't know how long it would take it for it to pick up 6 degrees. if we fast forward, it should start coming down. Nope, it's not. It's speeding up. Now it's counting down. Certain parts of the orbit it picks back up. I guess I should have only increased either my apoapsis or periapsis. Yeah, I think let's do that. So I think what I'll do, I'll get to my apoapsis and I'll bring my peri. Well, my peri's good. But maybe we can speed this up just a little bit. Add a prograde burn here. Make sure that I'm dead on that. I want this maneuver to happen exactly on my periapsis, because I don't want to affect my periapsis. And what I'm doing is prograde. I just want to push my apoapsis out a little bit more. I go about 380, I think. It might be too much. Let's go 379. Let's do that. And now, if I look at my target, 159, 125.9. Let us speed up now and see how fast that phase angle closes in. It's coming down, it's just slow. If I wanted to speed this up, I could push the apoapsis out farther, but I don't want to push it. And then what we'll do, once we get pretty close, we'll pull it back into the orbital period we need. We're at 120.8. We might overshoot it. 120.2. So I think we're going to have to dial it in a little bit. Because otherwise we're going to overshoot it. Let's get it to 1. So that orbital period is 3 days and 2 seconds. Let's try 5 seconds and see what that does. And again, I'm going to make sure I'm exactly on. My periapsis is lined up exactly. Looks pretty good right there. Can't really see any green there, so. So currently my orbital period is 3 hours and 18 seconds, and I'm dropping it down to 3 hours and 5 seconds. So we're at 120.3 degrees. Let me fast forward and see what that does. It's 120.1. So I'm going to have to slow this down even more. Let's drop it down to 2 seconds. Alright, 3 hours and 2 seconds. And let us fast forward and see if we can pick up that 1/10 of a degree without overshooting. We drop down, we should speed back up as we approach a periapsis. Ah, dang it, I overshot it. I need to do a retrograde burn here to get this orbital period back down to 3. Alright. So it took a lot of effort, a lot of fiddling around. I'm going to cut a lot of this out of the video, but I've spent probably the last hour here trying to get these separated like this. But what we ended up with, I have an orbital period of 3 hours, and I have a phase angle of 120 degrees with Moon Relay 1. Now I want to switch to this one and make sure it still has a 3-hour period. Hopefully. Okay, 3-hour period. And now we need to get a third relay out here. This one don't have enough fuel because we would have to change too much. So what I'm going to do is launch a third probe out here. We'll insert it roughly, well, we'll get it out here and we'll get it separated at 120 degrees like these other two. And that will be a relay network. So let us go back to the Space Center and grab another probe. But I put a couple up with this rocket already, so I should be able to put this one up. And I'll get this into orbit, and I will see you after the clip. Alright, so there we are, 80 by 80. Our probe is in orbit, and we'll go ahead and deploy the fairing for the solar panels. And I'm going to go ahead, I should have renamed this before we launched. I'm going to rename this Moon Relay 3. Alright, now we need a moon encounter. Now we want to be out here about 3. I'm going to come outside of it, I guess, on this one. So we'll start about 400,000. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. What I want to do, I want to get my periapsis right on 377. If we can. And then we'll make our apoapsis bigger or smaller, probably bigger, to slow down, because we don't know where we're going to end up. We're going to have to get both of them ahead of us. So let's go here. I'm going to do this burn and then I'll adjust my inclination, get it to 0, and then we will go out here and work on getting this third one in position. .133. I'll take that. Alright. Now if I burn normal, I think. Let's see. messed that up, so I've got to adjust it. See if we go retrograde, if I can push it back out. Okay. 377 with an inclination of 0. Let's get this probe out to the moon and see what we got to do. It's pretty close to where we want to be. I think we need to be a little bit farther ahead. My phase angle is 102, so I need to go faster. So I need to speed up. Let's see. Yeah, I need to catch up to this one. So I'm going to make my orbit smaller. So I'm going to come in about, I'm going to pull this periapsis down to about 150. Really just worrying about the period. I want to get it. We'll start about 2 days and 10 seconds maybe. Well, let's go a little. Let's go 2 days and maybe 2 minutes, because we're going to have to gain a little bit of ground and it'll take forever. So let's work on this. First of all, let me clear out this target so we don't have so much going on here. And we want to burn prograde to get down to an orbital period of what, 2 days, or no, 2 hours and 2 minutes. That's 259. Actually, what's the orbital period of this? Okay, it's 3 hours. I'll switch to this one. So I'm going to get this to 3 hours and about I need to speed up, so I actually want to go a faster period. So that's 2 hours and we're going to go 2 hours and 58 minutes. So we're going a little bit faster than the one in front of us. So we should be able to catch up to this one here. Now the other thing, before we do that, we'll draw this in. That's as close as I can get that. So I'm going to be just behind it, I guess. Alright, let's get lined up on our mark here. What's the deal? I was locked out there, I couldn't move. Alright, so not so much worry about the apoapsis as we are. We want to get the orbital period down to 2 days and 58 minutes. taking so long? It's going to take like 2 minutes to do that burn. Let's go with that. There we go. Alright. And now we want to set this as a target. And we want to fast forward until we get this to 120 degrees. And as we make these rotations, we'll have to slow down our orbital period. Because we're gaining on it pretty fast right here. I think we can get one more rotation in. Alright, so let's get back over to our periapsis. Actually, I need to correct that periapsis. I need to get this. First of all, my inclination is off. Why is my inclination off? Why am I 1.5? Let's see, where are we at the moment? This is us. If we get to this ascending node, let's correct this inclination. Looks like that's all it's going to let me do. Yep. Let's get back a little. Go back to a 1. Alright. And now what I want to do is, my apoapsis is, I need to pull that apoapsis in, I think. And yeah, we need to go retrograde, get it to about 377. Because I'll still be going faster because I'm on the inside track of the periapsis. But I think we're at a point we need to slow down. Why is that not working? There we go. Had the alignment wrong. Alright, now what is my orbital period? Or my, so I'm 121. 0.7 degrees out of phase. So what I need to do is get to my Perry app, or my Apple apps is here, and we want to do a little prograde. Get that orbital period on up to about we'll drop 2 seconds short of a full period. Now, don't know why it's saying my phase angle is 63 degrees. Okay, let us get on that maneuver and warp. Well, actually, let me cancel that warp. Before we do that, let's line these up. As close as I can get them anyway. Alright. Now let's warp to that. Oh man, we got too close. So we're going to have to slow down a little bit. So I want to make my period to be a little bit more than 3 hours. We go 3 hours in like 2 seconds. Because I went a little too fast. I gained too much ground on it. So we're going to go for 2 hours and 0 minutes and about 2 seconds. There's 258. $59. Okay, we'll try 3 seconds. Alright, and let's orbit. See if we gain that back. It's going to take a while. So I'm noticing when we get to our periapsis, our period doesn't change. So we'll drop 7, then we go 8 and 9. Okay. We're going up 2, but then we're dropping. Now this is the hard way to do this. The other way we use for minimus should be a lot easier. But I think this is going to work. Alright, so I'm going to set a maneuver node. First, let me clear out this target. I want to go to my periapsis here, add a maneuver, and we're wanting to slow down our day. So I want to go retrograde. And I'm really only doing the maneuver so that I know I'm lined up on my periapsis there. It's pretty good. So this is going to be, we're trying to slow down the day, the period. So I'm going to go retrograde. And this is going to be very small. I have to get down to the lowest thrust I've got, which is going to be 0.5. And we're already lined up. Let's warp to that maneuver. And get our period back right. Let's get it back to the marker. Retrograde. Stop. Right there. Well, let's see how we did. So, if we set this as a target, 120 degrees to that one. And we check this target, 120.2. So this one's a little bit out of whack. So it, 20, 30 years from now, this may be, we may have to come back and readjust. But I think that's good enough for our purposes. I don't know how we could adjust that. So it's weird that, I wonder if this one, I wonder if its orbital period is out of whack. No, it's 3 hours. I think the inclination is going to probably, so it's got a 0 inclination. 3 hour period. Let's switch to this one. 3 hour period. So the inclination is 0.1 on this one. Don't know if we can fix that. What we'd want to do is go to this ascending node here. I can maybe fix it if I burn anti-normal. Let's try it. We have plenty of delta V. Don't know if that's going to matter. It did not change the period. Let's see, which one was that? That is this one here. So main relay 2 and 3. How can that be? So this one should be out as well. It is. So we need to speed up a little bit. We would need to speed up to catch to this one. So why don't we? I'm going to go ahead and do this. I don't know if I can get that little bit of a gain though. I think I'm going to live with it. 119.9. That's pretty good. It'll be more than enough communications now for us to, when we land a lab on the surface of the moon, no matter what side is facing Kerbal, we should have constant comm link if we want to transmit science. So anyway, that is the relay station around the moon. We utilized two of the satellites we had from doing contracts, and we repurposed those for our own use. And now we added a third one, and we have ourselves a relay network. Now I got lucky here. Well, I have these other. I have to deploy these for them to work. So that's that one. This is number 3. Let's just check the other 2, make sure they're deployed. That was 3. Let's check 1. 1 looks good. And 2 looks good. Alright. Well, that will do it for this episode. We are going to try something much easier for episode 14 when we do our relay network around Minmus. I think there's a much easier way, and we will go over that in the next episode. If you want to follow, keep following my progress. Just give me a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.